Hello and welcome to the Fortnightly Q&A. Or perhaps monthly Q&A. I've not decided. I haven't. Also, my name's Lumin. And right now we're going to answer a couple of questions. I guess we'll get started on that right after I tell you why I'm thinking of increasing the amount of time between Q&As. I can also tell you another interesting fact. I love the word fortnight or fortnightly. I think it's amazing. I would be ecstatic if I could use that in a video title every 14 days. That would be great. It's a beautiful word. I wish more people used it more frequently nowadays. It's a shame. Truly is a shame. But the reason I'm thinking of changing my time frame with the Q&A is because of Tales of Lumin, because of my daily vlog episodes. I think that I am, with those, slaking the thirst of a lot of you that came here for this, to see me and hear my opinions on various different topics. I release them on a daily basis. I talk about a whole lot of stuff. Sometimes it's not what you want to hear about, but other times it is. They come out daily. You don't have to watch them all. Now, there could potentially be problems with a monthly Q&A. Things like you could forget what you asked a whole month later. The questions, or at least the answers, could be slightly less relevant a whole month after they were asked, especially if they're more time sensitive, and so on and so forth. So maybe fortnightly would be better. Another bonus with that is that I get to use the word fortnight or fortnightly in the title. So that's cool as well. It's better than weekly. It is. But let me know what you think. And right now we're going to get started. Also, it's kind of late. And I'm kind of tired. Which is the theme for the Q&As, it seems. The previous one was a welcome change. I agree. A lot of you said you loved the fact that I recorded it out there on the farm. And I'm going to do it again. I'll record it somewhere else. There are so many amazing views and vistas on the farm that I could pick and choose from. So next time I'll give you guys a really good view, a super special view, and I think you guys are going to like it. I think so. It might not be a proper fortnightly thing then. I'll just do it the next time we go to the farm. Whether it's sooner or later, it'll happen. Nathan van Heerden. Lumin, will you be getting... I gotta slow down with this. Lumin, will you be getting the PS4, the new Xbox for Destiny, and the rest of the great new console games? So I did discuss this. As I said, generally tends to happen in one of my recent Tales of Lumin episodes. And I said in that episode, I do kind of prefer PlayStations in general, but I'm not so heavily biased that I would say no to an Xbox, especially if it's like cheaper or something. But as for Destiny, you know, I'd prefer to play it on my PC. I would. But I guess we could play it on our PS3 when the time comes. We could do that. If I could pick up a PS4 at some point in the not too distant future for a decent amount of money, or I suppose I would say if I could afford to pick up a PS4 without putting ourselves in the red or anything like that, then I'd consider it. But it's not high up on my wish list. There are more important things to me at the moment. So I probably won't begin one of the next gen consoles soon, especially not just for Destiny. But hey, I'm hoping that they give us good news about Destiny on PC. They already said that they don't want to release it super soon on PC. They're focusing on making a good game for consoles, and I get that. I do. I think it's going to be great on the next gen consoles, and I'm keen. Keen to see what it's like. Keen to watch a couple of Twitch streams covering it. Bloodgorm. Have you seen the new show Sherlock? It's awesome. Only 6 episodes, but each is like 90 minutes. That's like a full-length movie, or at least a full-length movie from the 90s. Movies used to be 90 minutes all the time, you know? All the time. Nowadays, 180 minutes a pop. No problem. Then, how long does it take mail to get to you? Because I'd like to send something at some point, and it may well be food. It's coming from the US, and I don't want it to be spoiled when it gets there. There are some foods that you should just not send. I'm just going to put that out there, but I would say 2 weeks to a month, average. Sometimes in extreme cases a bit longer, sometimes in extreme cases a bit quicker. I've received mail from the US in 2 weeks before, and I have received mail from the EU in like a week before. So it's a bit random. It's like a roll of the dice. As for Sherlock, I do know that that is the show with Benedict Cumberbatch. I'm interested in it, but at the moment we're watching so many other things. Mentalist, Revenge, Grey's Anatomy, Walking Dead. Is that it? I don't know. Maybe a few others. We're watching all of those and we don't really have time to add any extra to it. Helene is watching even more than just those. So we're going to watch the ones that we're busy with at the moment. And when we've got more space in our hectic TV series schedule, we haven't watched anything in like a week. I think Helene's busy having withdrawal symptoms. It's just been busy, okay? It's been busy for both of us. So we haven't gone around to it. But when there's more time, I will watch Sherlock and I'll let you know what I think. Probably in the Tales of Lumin episode, maybe in the next Q&A. Don't know. Then, Sarel Falandas. Hey Lumin, some questions. Good. I look forward to them. I just want to have a sip of water first. I don't know why I'm so tired. It's been a long day. We drove to our breakfast date this morning. It was amazing. It was so good. I had amazing French toast and the best brownie. 2 Americanos. I didn't hold back. It was great. Helene had some good stuff too. We both enjoyed it. Anyway, back to the questions. What was your most favorite toy from childhood? Doggy. I had this little red and white dog. He was a teddy bear of sorts, but he was a dog, so he was a doggy bear, teddy dog. Teddy bear is such a silly word. A teddy is a bear, and a bear is a teddy. Or is a teddy just like the actual plush toy? Anyway, he was a little red and white dog. My mom even made a cute little outfit for him. He's got a little scar, I guess I could call it, a burn patch on his one paw for when he got wet once. Then my mom put him in the oven and left him in there for too long, and then he like fell half down and he burnt his one paw. Shame. It was sad. But he's fine. The rest of him is fine, and he's super cute. He's in the cupboard. I'm going to give him to my daughter or son one day to play with, and then they will know true love and happiness. I guarantee you that. Sarel says here, mine was Masters of the Universe. That's pretty crazy. I never had toys like that. Masters of the Universe, is that He-Man or something? I'm not sure. If you would visit Germany, where would you go? Just asking because I live in Germany, near the French border. I don't know. I don't know Germany all that well. I would just want to go everywhere. All the places, and I would like to see all the things and eat all the traditional German food. Maybe drink a German beer because that's supposed to be a big thing there. Just have a good time. I can imagine hundreds of good times, separate good times that I could have in Germany, and it would be so cool. Seriously. We were discussing earlier today how great it would be to live in Europe because you could just pop across the border into a different country for a quick visit, quick holiday, and have a good time there. It would be great. That's one of our new life dreams, is to move to Europe, to live there one day. We'll see. See what happens. And I'll let you know when I do plan my trip to Germany in the future, where I end up wanting to go. Then, What's your favorite character in Diablo 3? I'm playing as a Demon Hunter, and he does a decent amount of damage for level 32. Good. I like the Demon Hunter a lot. I have a very back and forth relationship with the different classes in Diablo, but I would say overall, firstly, I'm really liking the feel of the Crusader at the moment, but overall, I like the Monk. Big fan of the Monk. I like the speed, the agility. I like the look of the female Monk a lot. Not a big fan of the male Monk. Female Monk's beautiful. It's cool. I can dig it. Then, I do dig it. Boyka forever. Hoi! Great greeting. Great. You'd fit right in South Africa. Kind of curious, how is Helene doing? Is she fully okay now? Thank you so much for asking. Helene is great. Apart from all the stress, she's good. She's doing a whole lot better. Her arthritis is subsided. Her tendinitis is much better. She's back at the gym now. She's doing a decent amount there. Probably a good amount. Probably too much in most people's books, I guess. But she's fine. She's doing really well. I would even go as far as to say she is happy. Thank you again for asking, Boyka. We both appreciate it. Molda22, dear Lumin, since I've heard you like talking about how you love doing your thumbnails and all the other Photoshop stuff, and I think you're good at it, would you mind looking at my thumbnails and say what you think about them? In brackets, be brutally honest. What's bad? What should be changed? What kind of criticism is mostly the important one, right? Thanks. By the way, this is was a really nice Q&A, and you should keep making them in different places from time to time. Yes, I would love to. Now, I did actually look at your channel earlier. Let me see if I can open it. Molda22. I can organize that in like a mere moment. Molda22. I did look at your thumbnails, and I was thoroughly impressed. I'm not even joking. I mean, you know that I generally tend to be on the friendly side of things, and being super critical or brutally and negatively honest about things is not in my nature. But honestly, they look really good. You've got an amazingly nice style on them. So for those that don't know, if I had to describe them to you, he has nice clean text at the top in a banner style that just lets you know what the episode is. So if it's a walkthrough, let's play, whatever, a let's look at type first impressions thing, then he's got the game name below it, clear, easy to read. Then he's got the number on the left hand side, which is good because it's out of the way of the little timer on the right hand side for the smaller versions of the thumbnails. It's clear, I can see it easily. Then one thing that stands out to me quite literally is how nicely you are using the images. They popping out in certain places, overlapping things in certain places. It looks good. It looks good. The one thing I said, and this is where myself and Helene, because I showed them to her as well, have varying opinions. She said she likes the light color. But the thing that I said was that some of them look very similar. Some of the colors are very similar. And that's literally the only thing I can think of. That's it. Some of the colors are very similar. In other words, the Let's Play Hearthstone and the playthrough of Dungeons and Dragons, Daggerdale, those colors are incredibly similar, but what makes that work is it's the theme that you're going for on your channel. In other words, that is the palette of colors you've chosen. I'm assuming you're rather good at this kind of thing because they look amazing, kind of professional actually. So you probably know what you're doing. That said, they look good. Honestly, your branding, the work that you've done, it's good. I should probably mention another person that I think does this really well. The Sparrow's Journey. I don't know if you guys know of him. If you have been around since the Guild Wars 2 time, if you watched all my Guild Wars videos, most of you have, then you'd know who Sparrow is. He was in our guild. He played Guild Wars with us a whole lot. He does Guild Wars videos. Right now he's doing first impressions type videos, a whole lot of them. He is some sort of wizard with Photoshop and all the other Adobe products, because his branding, the look and feel of his channel and videos is next level stuff. I'm embarrassed about mine when I look at his. And Sparrow, if you're watching this, well done, man. Well done. Seriously, I am so impressed by that on a daily basis, because, well, I see them on pretty much a daily basis. And it's cool. You are doing amazingly well. Mulder, you're also doing amazingly well. I like the thumbnails. The only thing I can say, which is not even really negative, is the colors look very similar, but I think that's what you're going for with them. And the sad part about it is they'd look a whole lot better if you could still use the old YouTube layout, because you can't really modify or edit much on the current one. And if those are embedded somewhere else, say on Facebook or on your website or something like that, then it would look even better on Twitter or whatever. But well done. Seriously. Brutally honest, they look kinda good. And you guys, a lot of you that are so good with Photoshop and stuff, because there are a lot of you out there that are good, you make me look bad. But I'm happy with mine. I'm super happy with mine, actually. And that's that. But well done. Seriously. Another one from Mulder. After a year of being released, what are your current thoughts about Guild Wars 2? What part of the game did you enjoy the most, and what the least? So, the most, I just enjoyed exploration and leveling. That's it. I also really enjoyed the guild missions. The least, I would say, PvP. I just felt like one character didn't have enough of an impact when it came to PvP. And that kind of made it less enjoyable to me. There are other things that I didn't enjoy so much, but that's probably the one thing that stands out the most. I wasn't a huge fan of the PvP, especially the SPvP. World vs. World was fun from time to time, but again, one character just feels so insignificant. Then again, maybe that's the point. Maybe the server is supposed to stand together to be strong. Whatever. I have not played Guild Wars in a while, sadly, and that's mainly just because I don't have really very much time for it. And another thing that's quite sad was that my Guild Wars content was not getting watched a whole lot compared to the other stuff that I was doing and the stuff that I'm doing now, actually. So from a business point of view, it just didn't make sense for me to play it. But I like what they're doing. I like the regular updates. I do think that they would be better off focusing on slightly less regular updates. I've said this multiple times, that are slightly bigger, an expansion maybe, that would be better. But I still do like what ArenaNet are doing. I do, however, think that the dream won't last forever. They're gonna have to do something big and soon to make it. They are. Also, I think, just because of this video, I'm going back to the previous question quickly. I was staring at this now and thinking to myself, I'll put a link to Mulder and Sparrow's channels below. Have a look at their thumbnails, have a look at their art, enjoy. You're welcome. As well, because, well, it's something to see. Dihi. I just thought of a question. What place would you rather live in? Big city, small town, a village, out on a farm, out in the woods? Well, that's something I have been thinking about a whole lot recently. Kind of mentioned that before. Dream of moving to Europe. But it's difficult. I don't think I would like to live in a big city. Firstly, I kind of like driving. Now I know that driving in South Africa is completely different from driving perhaps in a different country, in the first world, maybe in Europe, maybe in the US, I don't know. I like driving here. I enjoy driving a lot. And I'm not talking about any of this automatic business. No. Manual, baby. Manual all the way. I can't stand driving automatic cars. Nothing wrong with it, I suppose. I just don't like it. But I like driving a lot, so I don't mind driving from a town or a village to the big city every now and then. I don't mind. So I would say, ideally, I'd like to live hour or so, hour and a half maybe away from a big city. Close enough to get all the important benefits, but not too far to be able to go there every now and then. If you want to get something, if you want to go to the big shops, something like that. I don't want to live out in the woods. As great as that sounds for like the hermit lifestyle, for me and for what I currently do, a small town would probably be best. Hey, if I can move to a small village that has everything and decent internet, great. Great. Mordred. Lumin, for starters, I want to congratulate you for how the channel has grown in the past few months. I'm happy. My question is, have you ever heard of X-Rebirth, and what do you think about it? / do you think you may be interested? Now, I have answered questions about the X games before. I think that those are the big grand space strategy things. Battle, trade-in, simulator type game. I like them. I really do, but instead of getting into something like that, I'd probably get into something like EVE Online. If I was going to invest so much time into a game to get to know it, to understand it better, then I'd rather do it in a game that has that persistent online world, a game that's being worked on constantly, something like EVE Online. But I do like those games. If I had much more time to spend as a gamer, just playing random things, then those would probably be pretty high up on my list just because I like them. I loved Free Space back in the day, and a couple of the others of that type. I know they're not the same, but I like games like that, so I feel like I would kind of enjoy X-Rebirth. That's it. Robname. Lumin, love this Q&A, the setting, and the joy that Nero had when he was outside. Reminds me of my German Shepherd, Toby, which was with us for 15 glorious years. Wow. That's great, isn't it? Big dogs like that. Wow. 15 years. Toby. Now, you live in South Africa. I hear you have some strange foods around there. I'm curious if you have ever had any special delicacies, like crunchy mopane worms. No. Those do not look good, and I have seen them multiple times. I can't say I wouldn't try a crunchy mopane. Helene wouldn't. I heard her making a sound when I said that, and my sleeves are getting stuck. Having a top within a top is just a bit much, but the crunchy mopane worms, I don't know, you know, they are not high up on my list of delicacies to try, but there are many other things. I would say that just a standard straight up braai, that's a local delicacy. The barbecue, I would say that that could be considered a delicacy, but I think you mean more things like, oh, the frog legs, or the, what else is there? The beetle schnoots, or whatever. I just made that one up. I know what you're talking about, but no, I haven't really tried many local delicacies. I don't know. Or special ones. I can't say. Things like snails for the French. I've tried a snail. It's just very rubbery and it tasted like garlic. That's probably because of the garlic butter that was dipped in. But I am definitely up for trying things like that when there's not blood involved. I'm not a huge fan of blood sausage. That's probably the one thing I'd avoid if I go to Germany. Otherwise, I'd like to try more things like that. I haven't been given the opportunity to try the worms yet. So I don't know. Then, Claire Bear. Greetings, Lumin. My question is, how many cups of tea on average do you drink every day? You know, when I had the licorice tea and that nice ginger tea and the other tasty ones from Woolworths, then I drank maybe 2 cups, 3 a day. I don't know. It depended sometimes on how many recordings of Hearthstone I did. Because I wanted to have a mug of tea for my game of Hearthstone. But not an insanely high amount. I just don't drink that much of it. Every now and then I drink a cup of coffee. And sometimes I drink tea. I would say on average, let's say 2. 2 a day. That's what I'd go with. If the tea is tasty, maybe more. If it's not so tasty, maybe less. Today, Helene bought almond and cream flavored rooibos tea. That could be interesting. Then, the final question, and I will mention once again at the end here that I did cut a few questions out because I wanted to keep this at a decent enough length that you guys would actually watch it all the way through. So, the final question, hey again Lumin, I was wondering if you could do some videos on your favorite OSTs, as you always seem to have wonderful music taste. I read that really badly. Jack Dev here didn't type anything incorrectly. I was the one that read it badly. Don't even worry about that. But I think you guys got the gist of the question. Been looking for some good tracks to listen to, but I always seem to run short. So, Jack Dev. I have been considering talking about music. It's actually on my list. I've got a little list on this screen over here. Tales of Lumin subjects. Some of my game soundtracks are in that list. And I have been considering... Is that better lighting? Did I just figure out that that's better all the way at the end of the video? I apologize. I don't know, it's a funny color, maybe. But I have been considering talking about some of them. But there's only so much you can say about a soundtrack. There are only so many words you can use to describe it. But there are a few that really stand out to me. So maybe I'll just do one Tales of Lumin episode at some point within the next, week or two, talking about some of my favorites currently. Because I listen to them on and off. So I listen to this a whole lot this week, then I listen to that a whole lot, next week. And the other one a whole lot the week after that. Moods. I go through music moods. But I think I can do that. Yes. Right now, though, I've just got so much to talk about in Tales of Lumin already. Other stuff that I'm not really at a loss for topics. So it may be a little bit, but I will at some point talk about them. You'll never go wrong with listening to Chrono Trigger, though. So get yourself the Chrono Trigger soundtrack and you're set. I listened to the Chrono Cross soundtrack recently as well. Kinda good. I like it. But that is sadly going to be it for this Q&A. If you've got any questions about anything, real life, gaming, Europe, Helene, Nero, feel free to leave them as comments below this video. Do it. You can check back here within the next 2 weeks or so for the next Q&A. Give it a like, share it, subscribe if you haven't already, and do all that other good stuff. Most importantly though, happy leaving those questions. Happy that.